This is your home for the Trojans, Girard Sports Live.
Snap and leans forward, and that's touchdown number 4 for Scott Moore.
Girard Sports Live is presented by Pregame, your community technology partner. Learn more at ckt.net.
Looks, throw over to Adolph, quickly down inside, wrap around Boatwood, found herself in the right place, foul, and the bucket!
He'll try a 3 and hits. Adolph with it up top, being guarded by Gass. Girard down the lane, off the glass, and good. Nice instinct by Adolph to just take it to the bucket.
Fielded on the short hop, fires this one across. Able to throw the runner out by a step and a half.
Pitch to the outside to Ashbacher. Gets a good block on the outside, and he's in for the touchdown.
It's time for the Trojans. On your home for Girard High School Athletics, Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live.
Gentlemen, and welcome to Girard Sports Live. I'm Drake Miller here, joined by Caleb Humble, and we've got the first round of the sub-state playoffs here in Girard for the ladies bracket. First up, the Osawatomie Trojans, or Osawatomie Trojans, excuse me. It's going to take me a minute. Missouri boy. But the Osawatomie Trojans facing off against the Girard Trojans here in Girard. And today's broadcast is brought to you by Pregame, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas with Pregame. To learn more, go to ruralfiber.org or see everything Pregame has to offer at ckt.net. Got a pretty intensive matchup here coming up for you guys on Girard Sports Live. This ladies team still suffering with some injuries. Caleb, give us the rundown on this this Girard Trojan squad. I'm going to have to be a little more specific tonight.
And so for the Trojans, it looks like your 2 seniors will be the 2 on IR during this game, with Kester and Boatman being the 2 to sit out. And so we can look at starting lineups in a little bit with who will fill in for those 2, but for the rest of this Trojan team, they all appear to be healthy and able to play in this matchup.
Yeah, and like you said, those 2 seniors, they've been out for a little bit of a period of time. This will be, I believe, the second full game that Maddie Kester has missed, going out in the game previous to Colgan. Am I correct in that? I believe.
Yes.
So Kester, or no, this will be the third. This will be the third.
Erica's
she did not
second.
play against Baxter Springs. But yes, Erica, I believe, will be her second. So a very interesting predicament that this team has been facing this season, but not an unfamiliar one either, because we saw earlier on in this season both Kester and Boatman finding the IR at that period in time as well, at the same time, ironically enough, throughout the middle of the season. Now, that was a pretty rough stretch leading up to it, but this team managed to find a lot of success without them, and now looking to replicate that tonight. We've talked to Coach Urlacher on the post-game interview, and he said that he's fairly confident in what this team's abilities are.
Yeah, and this team, we've seen it before. They can manage without those 2 girls, but they definitely do make a big impact for this squad. And talking to the 2 of them, just looking at maybe a return date, and with a win tonight, the girls will play next Wednesday. And so I think there's a chance, and I wouldn't quote me on this, but there is a chance that the entire team will be able to play in that game, and those 2 girls will be back for that matchup. And so something to look out for, and see if this squad will be able to have their full team and just big going into the rest of the sub-state tournament if you can have those two seniors that play so well down in the paint.
Yeah, and from what I hear, it's pretty well surefire that they will at least be there by the third round if this team manages to get that far, and that would more than likely be against Jayhawk Lynn, who I believe is the opponent of the boys' side coming up next Wednesday.
I think
Tuesday?
they're playing Baxter.
Oh, they are playing Baxter.
Baxter
with the
an upset, and we can get into that. But for that area matchups.
Yeah, we will get into that in a second. So excuse my my misleading information here. Caleb catching me on a couple corrections already. I'll clean it up as we go along. But this pregame show is brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan instant issue mascot debit card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more online at mybankcmb.com. And Caleb, why don't you go ahead and give me those area matchups as we go into that segment of the pregame show.
Alrighty, we've got a long list, and we will start with the boys' side and bring up a couple of results from yesterday's matchups. And we'll start that off with the 4-seed Jayhawk Lynn that matched up against Baxter, the 13 seed, and that ended in a 44-36 win for the Baxter Lions. Your home team, Girard, the 5th seed, matched up against Cherryville, the 12th seed, who won last night 53-26 here at home. The 2nd seed, Riverton, matched up against West Franklin, the 15 seed, and that ended in a 66-40 Riverton W. The 7th seed, Wellsville, went up against Frontenac, who was the 10th seed, and the Raiders are not playing anymore with a 74-51 Wellsville win. The 3rd seed, Osawatomie, matched up against Galena, our 14 seed, and the Galena Bulldogs are not playing as Osawatomie won that game 57-39. The 6th seed, Anderson County, matched up against Columbus, the 11th seed, and the Titans are not playing, with Anderson County winning that one 76-47, giving Anderson County that win. Now the only game from the boys' side of things that has not happened yet and will play tonight is the 3rd seed St. Mary's Colgan down in 2A, matching up against the 14th seed in Eureka. And finally, like we were talking about earlier, Baxter Springs will be here at home next Tuesday, matching up against your Girard Trojans. And moving over to the girls' side of things, we'll start it off with Jayhawk Lynn, that number 1 seed, matching up against Baxter, the 16 seed. And that game went a lot different for the Baxter Lions, ending a 47-18 Jayhawk Lynn win. Now tonight you have your 4 seed Girard Trojans matching up against the Osawatomie Trojans, who are the 13 seed. You have the 5th seed Riverton matching up against Iola, the 12th seed. The 2 seed Osage City matching up against Columbus, who are the 15th seed. 7th seed Frontenac matching up against Anderson County, the 10th seed. The 6th seed Cherryville will match up against the 11th seed Galena. And down into the number 1 seeded Colgan will match up against West Elk. And excuse me, that game already happened, ending in a 76-17 win for the Colgan Panthers. So a loaded first round for the boys, and definitely a lot more to come on the girls' side of things starting next week.
And that big upset for Jayhawk Lynn really opens up this bracket for the boys' side. Now, this is a team that we talked about with Coach Westcott in that post-game interview, that he had said both teams are familiar with each other. This is no gimme. It's not a layup. And for a team that's coming off of a big win like that, they're going to be having some fire in their bellies. They want to get stuff going here in the postseason. But on to the girls' side of the bracket. We stare down this matchup tonight. The girls with their hands full on this side of the bracket. A lot of really good competitors. You've got a couple of those CNC teams as well that are still rolling on that girls' side of the bracket that are very, very threatening, like Frontenac and Riverton. We know that they've found a lot of success this season, and those are teams that know Girard inside and out, and that Girard knows inside and out. So if you end up colliding with any of those, it's going to be a pretty action-packed matchup. But looking at this one, Caleb, what are the keys to the game tonight?
I think your biggest thing is going to be the rebounding, and that's something that we saw this girls team struggle with whenever they matched up against Colgan without your 2 seniors that play so well down in the paint. And so I think the big thing is if you can get those rebounds, there shouldn't be as big of an issue matching up against this other Trojan team in Osawatomie. But I think if you can get rebounds and if you can get those fast break opportunities that lead to good possessions, that's how you're going to get an easy win in this first round matchup.
Well, we will step aside for just a moment as I believe we are booting up for the national anthem. And then after the national anthem, we will transition into the starting lineups. Those area matchups were brought to you by Diskins Auto and Towing, 120 East Forest Avenue in downtown Girard. Diskins offers 24-hour towing and can repair all makes and models. To learn more, contact Diskins Auto and Towing at 620-724-8100. As we go ahead and step aside, and we'll be right back for after the national anthem for starting lineups. And we're back for the starting lineups, which are brought to you by the Jagged Edge. The Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at the Jagged Edge. Stylist Carlos Sands will have you looking your best for your next big game. Make an appointment soon by calling 620-724-7500. As we will start off with Osawatomie. For the Lady Trojans in red, number 13, Maddie Hampson, followed by number 14, Lexi Palmer, 15, Avaya O'Brien, 23, McKenna Minden, and 31, Charlie Lawless. And over to your home team, Girard Trojans. Caleb, a little bit of a different lineup tonight.
Yep, and for your Trojans in maroon, it looks like we will start off with number 2, a 5'6" freshman, Riley Bach, followed by number 10, a 5'9" junior, Marley Sisney, and number 12, a 5'9" junior, Kenny Keller. Next up is number 22, a 5'6" junior, Carson Orand. And rounding it out tonight will be number 41, a 5'10" junior, Callie Trojans.
So Trojans making her way into that starting lineup, I believe, for the first time this season. I don't think we've seen her in that starting five yet.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I believe she is the last starter that we haven't seen, that last girl coming off the bench that hasn't been a starter this season. So now really coming into effect that all of these girls can play at that starting level that we see in these games most nights.
Yeah, and I'll say that she certainly, I mean, we talk about this all the time, and basically in every broadcast, every single girl on that bench and on the floor is capable of being a starter at some point or another. And Trojans has proven herself to be very, very useful on the floor, and I think that's something that maybe Coach Urlacher is trying to lean into a little bit more coming down the stretch of this season. Well, I mean, coming into the postseason, actually, I'm so used to being, you know, oh, we're at the end of the regular season. Now we're into the postseason, but really trying to utilize her and maybe grow her further in her skill set going into her next few years. So,
and I mean, for Coach Urlacher, I think a big reason as to why you're putting Trojans in the starting lineup could be that rebounding issue that we saw in the last game. And so definitely a good fix, hoping that you can sway that rebounding battle more in your favor.
So first quarter underway as they move it around the perimeter. Black looking confident as she tries to knife her way down the left side. Now Orand puts up a shot in for two. Carson Orand opening up, getting a quick bucket here for the home team. This one's tipped out by Sisney. She does recover it inbounds, works it to Orand, and now down the floor. Already a quick turnover, under a minute being played. This one popped off the knee of Sisney, and now Black will take it up to the logo. Something we mentioned during the boys' game, no shot clock in these contests as Orand gets fouled and will be headed to the line.
Well, like you're saying, no shot clock, and that'll make an impact at some level during this game just because these girls are so used to worrying about that extra clock that'll apply a little bit of pressure, but now plenty of time to draw up a play and plenty of time to get things going.
Well, not to mention it makes those leads, as small as they might be, ever so threatening as well because you don't have a limit. You can dribble it out as long as you want and pass it around the arc. Missed on her second from Orand as this one was rebounded by Sisney. Now Trojans gathers, keeps the possession alive. Osawatomie struggling under the boards so far. Trojans goes up off the glass, can't get the first, and Black will be fouled on the floor. And that'll be the second foul against Menden, back to back.
I mean, we're just a little bit over a minute into this game, so possibly the two quickest fouls we've seen all season from anyone.
Now you're going to see a new face hit the scores table here as Black gets the rebound and drops in for two.
And Drake, that might just be the reason that you see both Trojans and Black starting. It's just the rebounding ability, and that's a great play by Coach Urlacher, just making sure that he has those players that can get down low and get those second chance opportunities for this team.
Timeout for Osawatomie as Riley Cook will be the substitution that comes in, number 33. And as we take this break, we'll take a second to acknowledge our timeout sponsor, brought to you by Salon 214, now open at 107 North Ozark in Girard. Take a time out to pamper yourself with Vanessa and her team at Salon 214. And take a time out to check out Salon 214 on Facebook. And I forgot to mention that the opening tip-off was brought to you by Farmers Bank. Proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. They are looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. This one poked out of bounds by Keller. will stick with the Trojans in red. And another one goes out of bounds, this time off the foot of Keller.
So plenty of turnovers, not necessarily turnovers, but plenty of blocked or kicked balls that are now possibly leading to turnovers.
And a swirl out miss to try and grab the first bucket for Osawatomie. There's a great screen by Keller. Black pulls the trigger on a triple, can't get it to go. Oran with the putback, no dice. Trojans puts back up. 2 rebounds, 3 tries at the basket, and nothing to show of it. And now Keller's gonna get charged with a foul here.
Number 12, Kennedy Keller, her first.
That'll be Kennedy's first, our team first. So definitely a lot of pressure from the Trojans tonight. Not even letting Osawatomie try to get even past half court, and that's what we've seen work so well for this team in the past.
And already so many turnovers, missed rebounds from Osawatomie. This Trojan team really just not capitalizing at the bucket right now. If they start to get things going, this could get messy real quick. Black tosses it in. Trojans hands off. Keller has the momentum. Can't get it to go, and it's out of bounds. On Keller, headed back to Osawatomie.
Another ball poked loose from Oran. Just constant pressure that's just keeping this Trojan team from even getting past half court.
Inbound, makes its way to O'Brien. O'Brien now trying to work inside. Kicks out, pump fake on the triple. This will be a 2, won't go from Lawless. So work it back to her at the point. O'Brien searching for a driving lane. This one grappled by Briley Black. And a jump ball forced. Will switch the possession arrow as Osawatomie keeps possession.
Great play from Briley to get her hands on the ball and make sure that she didn't cause a foul, but get the turnover. Not necessarily a turnover, but now the jump ball possession is going in your favor. So
once again, pokes that one out of bounds. As now this gets into Palmer. O'Brien gets it to Lawless. On the floor, Oran trying to get scrappy here. Finally gets it out and fires it to Black. And a loose ball goes out of bounds. Man, some scrappy basketball here early. That one was on the floor for probably a good 5 or so seconds. O'Brien trying to wheel her way around to get to midcourt. Oran, it does go out of bounds.
Drake, so far we're about 3 minutes into this game, and I'm pretty sure about 2.5 of those minutes have been spent on this side of the court. Just
O'Brien does take a shot from the paint. Off the back iron, won't go. Keller with the rebound will flip it to Mooneyham, who came in. Mooneyham goes to the glass, can't get the first try. Gets the rebound, keeps it alive, and hands off to Sisney as they collide. And now a foul called, this time against Lexi Palmer.
Number 14, Lexi Palmer, her first, team third.
And man, if only half of these buckets would fall from Girard, they'd be probably close to 15 at this point. A lot of great looks and just unable to get them to fall through the hoop.
And like you're saying, the opportunities are there. Just you need to make sure that you can execute on them and grow this lead to where Osawatomie doesn't have a chance of coming back in this game.
Keller and Oran applying pressure as now working it down. Lawless hits Cook. Cook cannot get it to fall. Rebound Sisney as Oran takes it down the floor. Into the hands, Mooneyham to Trojans. Trojans flips around, fading away, and gets the two. Down the floor, Wallace loses it into the hands of Palmer. The shot won't go still. 0 on the board for the Red Trojans, and now we've got another foul. O'Brien will be charged with this one. Four fouls in Osawatomie's direction.
4 fouls, and they are working for just to even get a shot up on the other side of the floor. Just the Trojans playing great defense and applying a lot of pressure so far early in the first.
Keller's shot was blocked by Riley Cook, and now on the floor, jump ball forced from Mooneyham, Keller, and Lawless. This will go to Girard, so forcing a bit of a turnover here. Keller looked to be a little frustrated with that result.
And that's where that jump ball from Black that we saw earlier really comes into play, letting this Trojan team gain another possession to get points on the board.
Oran tries to lay it off the glass, can't get it to go as they work it over to Hampson. This one tipped by Keller as they keep it back court, and that'll be 10 seconds. Kennedy Keller playing phenomenal defense, stops up the Red Trojans.
I mean, they have to work for anything in this game against this tough Girard defense.
Now Keller taking to the paint, trying to force her way inside, can't get that one, and is fouled on the putback. This will go against 14, I believe. That's Lexi Palmer, which puts not only her, but also McKenna Menden at 2 fouls apiece, and now bonus with 2:45 remaining.
And looking at the scores table, looks like Macy Munkin will check into the game, and that's a player that we had talked about before the broadcast tonight of just how big of an impact she really played in that last game. That just helped this team really get a little bit more energy off the bench, and so something big to see tonight is if she can bring that spark once again.
Yeah, Munkin had a pretty stellar performance against that Colgan team. Getting some big-time buckets. I mean, some big swinging buckets in that game. I mean, only 5 points is what she had at the end, but, man, they were a good 5. Got a timeout called here by Osawatomie. We will take a break. We'll be right back after this.
At Girard Medical Center, we're more than a hospital. We're your hometown healthcare team. From family medicine and emergency care to lab services, surgery, imaging, and beyond, we're here when you need us. Compassionate care close to home. To learn more about our high-quality care and everything that we have to offer, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com. A proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler.
And we're back on Girard Sports Live. Moving down the floor, the Osawatomie Trojans trying to push past midcourt. They do, through the hands of Hampson, and now she turns it over into the hands of Mooneyham. Now Mooneyham dishes it to Oran, behind the back, works it over to Munkin as she looks to drive, and it's out of bounds on Osawatomie. The inbound, as Munkin tries to get it to Trojans. Trojans, Keller. Keller had some space. Surprised to see her not just put that one up from range. That doesn't go from underneath. And now again the defense. Munkin forces the turnover. Ran for the triple. Can't connect. Rebound is poked out of bounds by the new face for the Osawatomie Trojans, which will be number 35, Kaylee Shipley.
Into the game will be Riley Black for Cali Trojana. Also looks like Marley Sisney will check in for Kennedy Keller.
Another new face comes onto the floor, and number 2, Macy Barnett. Mooneyham, was trying to find a Rand on the backdoor cut. That ends up in the hands of Osawatomie. O'Brien trying to drive against Munkin, puts up a floater, no dice. Sisney gets it poked out of bounds. Still only an 8-point gap though, and how dominant Girard has been, you'd think they'd have a little bit of a bigger lead.
And we've seen this where this Girard team really can take over in the second quarter and get things going, but like you're saying, a lot of missed opportunities to score in this one so far early in the first quarter.
Out of bounds on Osawatomie again, underneath the basket of Girard. As Munkin will look to inbound. Gets it to Briley Black, who puts it off the glass for 2. A solid bucket. That's her second of the night, and she is actually the leading scorer of the game with 4. And now Sisney will get called for a foul.
Foul on number 10, Marley Sisney, her first, team second. Subbing in for Girard.
That'll be Marley's first, our team second, so definitely a lot cleaner of the game for the home team than this Osawatomie squad.
Work it around, finding Hampson in the corner. Can't find the 3, and now Sisney will take it down the floor. Black flips it over, Mooneyham. Back to Mooneyham on the far side wing, drills a 3. And that is the Mooneyham that we have been looking to see in the last couple weeks. She's been just a little bit quiet on the floor, now looking a little more lively.
And we have probably seen that shot from Augie more than a dozen times, and more than a dozen times it has gone in. So definitely her spot on the court that works.
Black collects her first. Aveo O'Brien will head to the line to try and break the seal here, and can't get the first. Drains the second. A shutout no longer, as O'Brien gets one on the board for Osawatomie. Munkin looks to drive, kicks out. Mooneyham for the 3, just a bit long on that try, but Keller drops in the putback 2. Now this team starting to find their groove on the scoring side, as Black makes it all the way down the floor and forces the jump ball. Great heads-up play and a great defensive effort from Keller as well to stop it up.
And a little bit of deja vu on that play. Just seems like something that we saw just a few seconds ago with Black, where she was able to get that jump ball with applying a good defense and applying good pressure.
Macy Munkin called for a foul there. 0.3 seconds here in the first. As that one's blocked by Keller, not even a chance. And 15-1 will be the score as we head into quarter number 2. Girard leads by 14. We'll be right back.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
And we're back on Girard Sports Live. The Girard Trojans leading by 14 through the first quarter, as the scoring really started to come together there at the end of quarter number one, as that pass taken away. Oran forces it out again though, and now finds herself under the basket for an easy two. Great effort from Oran, turning the ball over, but then getting it right back for her team, as now a couple ladies on the floor. Jump ball will keep it with Osawatomie, but forcing the possession arrow out again. All the jump balls so far pretty well ending in Girard favor, where it's more of them forcing it than anything else.
And something that you like to see with all these jump balls is how the Girard girls will rally to the ball, and that's something that during football season we would hear Coach Philpott say all the time, is that you need 12 men getting to the ball, or just an extra, everyone getting there. And so the same thing in basketball, if you have more people rallying to the ball, the higher chance that you'll get that turnover.
Trojana gets another bucket on the resume. 4 points for her on the contest, 19-1 score. Keller nearly with the pull away, and now on the floor again as this one's loose. Into the hands of Lawless. Works it over to Palmer. Palmer struggling against the efforts of Black and Oran. And now foul called against Briley Black.
That will be Briley's second. Just the first team foul of this early second quarter. But with that foul, it looks like Munkin will check in and Black will take a seat.
Yeah, and probably a good call from Erlacher, as now we've got a travel called. You don't want a lot of your fouls getting channeled into one or two players. That's where things start to get a little bit tricky. And right now you've only got 4 players with fouls alone out of your 7-player roster. And a loose ball will turn it right back over. The pass from Oran to Trojana. That's one you don't want to have. As Lawless trying to work it around the perimeter. Keller forces it out again with a huge deflection. Now Oran works it to Sisney. Sisney gives off Munkin. Can't get the shot up as it was blocked by Lawless. Now down the floor. They find O'Brien, goes up for 2, was Hampson, and no dice there either.
So we're about 10 minutes into this game and still no actual shots for the Osawatomie Trojans, just that sole point coming from the free throw line.
This one surrounded by all 5 Girard Trojans, and now a foul called.
Foul's on number 10, Marley Sisley, her second, team second.
And Coach Erlacher, I think, is trying to make a case that should have been a travel. As 3 goes up, won't go, and that will stay with Osawatomie. Sisney just kind of getting the short straw right now on a couple of these plays. Can't seem to find herself out of trouble. But a big rebound there for that young lady as Oran works it down the floor. Keller, Sisney for three. Cash! Says, you may get me on defense, but you can't get me on offense. On the floor as she pokes it out. Gets it to Munkin and a jump ball. Looking over there at the student section, Ben Cullen can't believe his eyes.
I was going to say, all of them just are.
He almost fell to his knees. This one from Trojans goes up, can't go. Keller collides. And an official timeout here. As I think Osawatomie was wanting a foul there, as this one's poked out by Sisney. Oran gets fouled, and she'll be shooting two.
Drake, I'll go back to that student section. With those boys not playing in a game right after this one, they are getting hyped and they're excited to be here to finally be able to cheer on their counterparts.
Oran knocks down the first. And on the other side, I'd like to mention this Osawatomie crowd not happy with that sequence of plays right there. So Rand misses on the second. Keller tries to put back, and now she will be fouled. And once again, hearing it from the Osawatomie crowd.
To the line shooting two, number 12, Kennedy Keller.
Keller with her first, gets it to go. I just had to laugh there as I was looking at that student section and with the displeased crowd of the Osawatomie Trojans. The student section was trying to give explanation as to why the foul was called. Just had to laugh a little bit. Love a good home crowd here in Girard, as we will go ahead and step aside for a moment. Or no, we have a 30-second timeout, so we will shout out our other timeout sponsor, which is Southeast Kansas Player Health Alliance in collaboration with Live Well Crawford County, reminding you to know your limits when gambling and know when the game is playing you. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-426-2537 for free assistance. Caleb, you know some of these guys. I'm sure you talked about them. Were they pretty excited to get out here and be able to just be a fan for tonight?
I was walking into the game tonight, and they were all saying that Coach Westcott had suggested that they all come to the game, but quite a few of them were saying that they'd like to just finally come watch one and cheer on this home team, but they're a bunch of goofballs, Drake. There's not much more to say other than that.
As most high school boys are. Working down the floor, it's Minden who kicks it off for the three. Can't go for Hampson. Rebounded by Keller. Mooneyham looking to drive. Kicks out Oran. Oran crashes the boards. Sisney for three. Can't get it off the back iron. Rebounded by Trojans. Oran takes a second to acknowledge a bit of a collision, but Mooneyham drills a three. I was wondering what was happening over there. I think Oran collided with one of the Osawatomie Trojans, and we see the first bucket. McKenna Minden gets it to go.
I mean, we are 11 and a half minutes into this game, and finally a bucket from this Osawatomie team.
Mooneyham doesn't connect on the next three-pointer as this one goes out of bounds, headed in the Girard direction. 28-3 is the score. And not a super big scoring night for this Girard team. This second quarter has certainly been a lot nicer to them than the first, but the defensive stand has been the talk. So they work it to Palmer. Palmer trying to work it inside. Facing Mooneyham. Defending her closely as pulling up for three. Can't get it. Off the hands of O'Brien. Will go out of bounds. And man, what a demoralizing field goal percentage for this Osawatomie team.
I mean, for the Trojans tonight, I think the biggest thing is that you have played such an incredible game of defense. Being up by so much, the one thing you cannot afford to do is to let up and let this Osawatomie team crawl back in any sort of fashion.
I believe this one is going to go against Briley Black, and that is
Foul on number 2, Briley Black, her third, team third.
Another unfortunate foul for her as she collected both her second and third here in the second quarter. She was benched after the second foul and then came in after a period of time as Keller forces another turnover, puts up a short range two, and gets it to go. Up to 30 for this Girard team.
And Drake, I keep track of steals, but I feel like I should just keep track of steals from Kennedy Keller with how influential her defense is for this team.
A huge turnover for Osawatomie as they try to take some steps towards points, and now foul called.
Fouls on number 22, Carson O'Land, her first, team 4.
As that one will be on the floor. Orand gets her first foul, blocked by Keller. And now back down the floor for Girard. Munkin trying to work it to Orand. This one's poked away. O'Brien down the floor, loose ball, ends up in the hands of Osawatomie. Now to Hampson. Here's Palmer, kick out, Lawless. Trying to take to the paint, and it's stripped away. Mooneyham with the take. As this one trickles almost out of bounds, and Macy Munkin was in the paint. It was Augie Mooneyham who lays out for that one. Wow. Some good grit there on the transition from Mooneyham. Orand works to the paint, gets fouled, and will be shooting two.
Fouls on number 13, Maddie Hampson, her third, team third. To the line, shooting two, number 22, Carson O'Rand.
First one from Orand connects. (31-5), 2:20 to go here on the clock for the first half, as Orand goes 2 for 2 on that trip.
Looks like back into the game will be Trezona for Sisney, and Sisney will take a second to catch her breath.
And all these girls could probably use that second or so, as you can just tell this Girard team not letting up. Macy Munkin, turnover two. A great play from Munkin. We know what she's capable of. Almost gets that turnover too. And Orand connects. Keller with the tip. Munkin recovers it. And Orand with the points.
And Drake, this is just bully basketball that we are seeing from the ladies tonight.
Here's a three ball. Can't cash in for Palmer. Rebound Orand down the floor. Spin move. And travel called. 36-5 is the score. So get it in, a foul called.
That'll be on Kennedy Keller, her second, and our team's fifth. So it will be opportunities from the line for this Osawatomie team.
To the line, shooting two, number 15, Avea O'Brien.
O'Brien to shoot two with 1:34 to go here in the first half. First one won't go. O'Brien on her first trip to the line went 1 for 2. This time probably trying to replicate that performance after the miss. Avery Brooks checked in as well for the Trojans. Mooneyham on the far side wing, kicks it up top to Oran, finds Munkin. Munkin trying to drive, gets fouled, and almost creeps it over the rim for an and one.
Fouls on number 35, Kaylee Shipley, her first, team fourth. To the line, shooting two, number 5, Macy Munkin.
Munkin, her first free throw, drops in. Second, can't go. Rebound is into the hands of Riley Cook, now down the floor. As this shot goes up, that was Shipley on the 2 try, and now a jump ball called after the rebound. Will stay with Osawatomie. Minute 7. Foul called. I believe this will go against Oran.
That looks like the case. That'll be her second. So more free throws for this Osawatomie squad.
Yeah, and this is kind of the concern right now for this Trojan team. Everything else looking near perfect other than the foul game, and that has been a third of the points so far for Osawatomie, as well as you've got a couple of starters in foul trouble. They will call a lane violation on a Blotnick. So this one goes up, comes down into the hands of Trezona. Mooneyham takes it at the top. Trezona kicks it to Munkin. Munkin with the baseline drive, puts up a shot, won't go. Rebound, won't go either. Now back down the floor as she will trip up Kaylee Shipley and called for a foul.
Fouls on number 5, Macy Munkin, her second. We have a technical foul on number 22, Carson Oran.
So Macy Munkin collects her second foul, and Oran, who is on the bench, will get called for a technical.
Drake, did you see what happened?
I did, and I think it was a choice of words that may have, I was trying to read some lips after the fact, and I believe it was maybe a choice of words, but Oran does get called for the technical, so 2 free throws coming up. Nothing comes of it. I thought they teed up Urlacher initially because Urlacher had come up and tried to plead his case. And I was really going to be surprised there because it looked like he was being pretty passive with it. And then, of course, they signaled that it was Orand. So Palmer makes one of the 4 free throws from both the foul on the floor from Munkin as well as the technical foul. Osawatomie gets the ball back with a free possession here. As they work it over, it's taken away by Mooneyham. Transition to Munkin as she cannot get the layup to go. And a foul called. They're gonna call that against a Blotnick. And the officiating crew here, hearing it from the Girard fans, as Caleb, did you see anything?
From what I saw, she was reaching in to get the ball, but I think
she got tied up.
Yeah, I think it wasn't much of more of a jump ball, if you want to call it that, but she was trying to get free on the Osawatomie side, and she kind of swung her fist around, and that's what a lot of the student section I saw was kind of getting a little riled up over that.
Yeah.
But
that was Kaylee Shipley who kind of swung the bow there at the end, trying to break free, and now a Blotnick called for a travel. And this is the tricky part here for Urlacher, is you get into this position where fouls are starting to pile up against your team as Munkin forces a turnover, and now a foul called against Aveo O'Brien.
with that foul, now the Girard Trojans will be shooting in the bonus.
And so many fouls in this quarter with a 28-point lead as that one dances out. Only a couple players right now who do not have a foul. Avery Brooks, Augie Mooneyham, and Callie Trezona keeping it clean on the contest tonight. Munkin drops in her second of the free throws. Mooneyham gets the turnover, tries to transition it to Brooks on the cut inside, and this one picked up by Munkin out of bounds at the buzzer. 38-9 is the score. We will head into quarter number 3 after this short break.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome to Homestead of Girard, assisted and independent living right here in our hometown. At Homestead, seniors enjoy compassionate care in a community designed for comfort. Licensed professionals provide support with daily activities, dressing, bathing, and medication management. Residents enjoy home-cooked meals and the comfort of their own private apartment. Call 620-724-6760 to schedule your tour today. Homestead of Girard, senior living with compassion, comfort, and community.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More than just your neighborhood pharmacy, Mathis Drug is your hometown partner in health. With pharmacist Bria Scheibe and an experienced, highly trained staff, Mathis Drug is ready to serve you. And now, Mathis Drug offers comprehensive compounding, which is one of the few pharmacies in Southeast Kansas with this convenient on-site service. From medications to expert advice, call 620-261-9779. Mathis Drug Store, where community and care come together.
I was hoping to talk to someone about updating my insurance policy.
I am able to understand complete sentences.
That was a complete sentence?
I didn't understand that.
Or can I just talk to a person?
No one talks to humans anymore.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
I hear you. Why don't we review your coverage with a super check?
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Judd, Lori, Jenny, or Amber in Girard today.
Call's service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Call's carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Call's continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call's Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Selling equipment can be a hassle, whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire. The time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
Something out of nothing. The Trojans all over him. It's going to be a big loss.
The Trojan sack means $2 short stacks at Eastside Cafe. Kick off your day with a hearty breakfast or take that midday break at Eastside Cafe. And this fall, when the Trojans get a sack, you get $2 short stacks the following day. Dine in only. Restrictions apply. Eastside Cafe, a favorite of the 4 states winner. Go Trojans from Eastside Cafe.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
And we're back on the GN Bank halftime show here on Girard Sports Live, presented by GN Bank. where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. And as we take a look back at the first half, Kenara Eye Care is here to make sure you can see what you're looking at. Kenara Eye Care, with locations in Pittsburgh and Girard, is here to help their valued customers. Learn more at KenaraEyeCare.com. Caleb, a 29-point lead in the first half, and a pretty intense and maybe even slightly aggressive first half from both of these sides, getting a little bit chirpy there.
Yeah, and I think for Osawatomie, you're going to get a little more aggressive and you're going to want to play more physical, knowing that this could very easily be your last game of basketball, and a little bit of frustration with just how well this Trojan team is playing defense, stopping them from really getting to the other side of the court. And so I think that's where a lot of that frustration is coming from, and this Trojan team is definitely willing to give it right on back and fight back for their team. And so, but other than that, for this Trojan team, fouls kind of adding up there in that second quarter, but scoring-wise, doing a great job. And on the defensive side, might it be one of the better games that we've seen for this girls team, playing defense and getting those steals, getting a couple of blocks here and there, and just not a lot of opportunities for Osawatomie, with I only think maybe 2 or 3 of their buckets coming from the floor, and the rest of the points on the board coming from those free throws. So a lot of room for improvement for the Osawatomie team on the scoring side of things, and not much you would honestly change for this Girard girls team.
Yeah, not much at all. Everybody getting a piece of the action, and we talked about it last night in the boys game through the first half. This was kind of the same formula. You saw a lot, basically everybody who touched the floor had a bucket, and right now seeing pretty much the same thing. Only Avery Brooks and Reagan Plotnick, the scoreless players for this Girard team, and they only came in at that last minute. I don't think either of them really got a clean shot off, so you know, that's just kind of opportunity based there. But everybody else getting a basket from the floor, had a couple of free throw opportunities from Rand, Keller, and Macy Munkin. Macy Munkin dropping in 2 free throws as well as a bucket from the floor. But right now, Carson O'Rand, she's the big story of the first half for this Girard team. She's got the most points, sitting at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points right now, but also tied for the most fouls at 3 through the first half. That includes that technical foul that she collected there at the end of the first half from the bench, which is something that you don't see a lot of. A lot of those technical fouls coming from the floor because the attention of the referees tends to be right there. But man, just spoke up a little too loudly from the bench. The official was right there, heard her, and teed her up for it. But I'm sure she's probably learned from that and is focused on just getting this game done and dusted. I'm sure they'd like to head into the fourth quarter with a 30-point lead and get the turbo clock rolling. But right now, the third quarter getting ready to come underway.
And it looks like to start this third quarter, the only difference in this game that we will have is Mooneyham will come in for Oran to start the third. And so definitely a lot more of what we saw in that first half coming in the second.
Keller drops in a quick 2. Bumps the Girard Trojans up to 40 and now gets another. Getting a bit redundant here for Kennedy Keller. A lot of deflections, turnovers, and now a good amount of points as well, as this one tipped by Trezona. They will keep it alive on the Osawatomie side. And feeling the pressure, this one is poked out. Macy Munkin gets a hand in there, and it's off of Osawatomie last, so it will be a turnover in Girard's favor.
And with Macy sitting on the bench, I believe that was Augie Mooneyham.
Sorry. Apologies for that misread as Keller misses on the long-range shot. Black gets the 2 to go. And now down the floor, Lawless will get her first of the game. Bumps the Osawatomie Trojans into the double digits for the first time today with 6:30 to go in the third.
And if you're Girard, if Osawatomie's only scoring because they got a little bit past you on fast breaks, I think you're going to have a just fine time finishing out this game.
Trezona nearly grabbing a 2 off the rebound. This one taken down the floor by O'Brien. O'Brien tries the inside pass. It's taken away by Keller. Sisney down the floor, passes it off. Mooneyham fouled and will be shooting 2. A hard foul at that. Lexi Palmer collects. Oh, excuse me. They said Lexi Palmer as Mooneyham misses on that. That will be Hampson's fourth. They had 13 on the board. But now Hampson, 1 foul away from being done tonight with 6 minutes to go here in the third as Keller loses it off the rebound and out of bounds.
Subbing in for Osawatomie, number 10, Heidi Grother.
So the full court press will continue for the Trojans, and if you're Coach Herlocker, I don't think there's any reason why you would tell your girls to back off just because of how successful it's been tonight.
Coming down the floor, it is a forced jump ball from Augie Mooneyham. As they get it into O'Brien. O'Brien almost losing it. Does finally get it to Menden across. O'Brien now trying to take to the glass. Gets fouled and will be shooting 2.
And something to note with the Trojans playing this full court press is one of the players that you don't really see while watching the full court press is Callie Trezona, and she's down in the paint always, making sure that no one gets through the cracks of this defense, and even if they do, she's still that final barrier before you get to the rim. And so great job of playing where you need to be and making sure that this Osawatomie team doesn't get any easy buckets throughout the transition defense.
And now Briley Black will be at 4 fouls here in the third quarter. So Macy Munkin will check in for her. 2 made free throws from Avea O'Brien. Bump her up to 6 points on the contest. Mooneyham drills it from range. A good answer from Mooneyham as now she looks to strip it away and forces the jump ball instead. This will go to Girard as we've got a timeout from Osawatomie.
So great plays on both sides of the court from Mooneyham, getting the 3 and then getting the turnover.
We will take a moment as we got a timeout on the floor. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to Homestead of Girard, assisted and independent living right here in our hometown. At Homestead, seniors enjoy compassionate care in a community designed for comfort. Licensed professionals provide support with daily activities, dressing, bathing, and medication management. Residents enjoy home-cooked meals and the comfort of their own private apartment. Call 620-724-6760 to schedule your tour today. Homestead of Girard, senior living with compassion, comfort, and community.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Back on Girard Sports Live, we missed Kennedy Keller getting the inbound and the 2 points. during that break. Other than that, it's been about the same as Mooneyham will get her first. Now I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Urlacher eventually starts to pull off of that full court press, because I'm sure he wants to start limiting fouls as much as possible coming down the stretch of this game. And Keller a little bit rattled after that.
Subbing in for Girard, number 3, Avery Brooks.
Avery Brooks will check in place.
And I think that's a great substitution from Coach Urlacher, just because it's almost easy to say that this one is pretty well wrapped up, and so I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Urlacher decided to pull a lot of his starters and start playing some of those JV bench players to give them minutes in this postseason.
Munkin caught one off the face there during that possession, and holding her nose a little bit after the fact, but seems to be okay. She's laughing it off. Always good to see. And that was, as you were saying, you know, you'd hate to have something go wrong here in garbage time, as this game is pretty well done and dusted. I mean, I know we're in the third quarter, and technically never say never, but the way this team's playing, 36-point lead is going to be hard to give up, and especially with the way that Osawatomie is shooting. And as Munkin catches another one, this time off the shoulder.
She's still laughing about it, just surprised by how many times she's going to get hit in this third quarter.
And now getting a little bit of consolation from Charlie Lawless.
Fouls on number 41, Callie Trojans. Her first, team third, to the line, shooting 2, number 15.
It's like that foul will go against Trojans, her first. So the only player for the Lady Trojans without a foul tonight will be Avery Brooks.
First one goes in for O'Brien. Second one also for O'Brien. It's good to go, 49-15. Brooks works it in. Trojans back out to Munkin as she baseline drives. Can't get it to go. Trojans will be fouled after the rebound. And now shooting 2 is Callie Trojans.
Fouls on number 33, Riley Cook, her first, team second, to the line, shooting 2, number 41, Callie Trojans.
And I'm just kind of watching this interaction here as Trojans rattles off the rim on her first. Munkin
Subbing in for Girard, number 12,
talking to the
Kennedy
bench,
Keller.
or at least in that direction, laughing about the couple of bullets that she took on those last couple possessions. Trojans gets the second to go. 50-15 is the score. Mooneyham being cautious here, but gets the foul anyway. She was, you could see it on that defensive play that Mooneyham was keeping the hands off, was trying to keep from getting a foul called. So now they work it across midcourt with Lawless. 2 ball won't go off the hands of Cook, rebounded by Mooneyham, and now down the floor as she travels. And now another travel off the inbound. This one goes against Charlie Lawless. Mooneyham gives off to Keller, finds Trojans in the paint for the two, can't get it to go. Down the floor for Palmer as she transitions it to O'Brien, and she gets the two. Munkin, they swing it over, Mooneyham to Brooks. Back to Mooneyham at the point. Brooks now fires from three, can't get it. It will be saved by Keller as she tried to throw it off of Osawatomie ladies team, and will be called out of bounds on Keller regardless. So Hampson checks back in here at the end of the third with her 4 fouls. O'Brien loses it. Brooks gives off to Mooneyham, and now down the floor once again for Girard. This one tipped away by O'Brien. Mooneyham keeps her on the perimeter as O'Brien's pass tipped in bounds. Trojans picks it up. Keller works it to Munkin. Munkin lays it in for two. Deep ball down to O'Brien. She puts up a floater, can't go. Rebounded by Keller. Mooneyham over to Munkin, finds Keller in the paint for two, gets it to go. Kennedy Keller taking up the leading scorer thrown here on the last few possessions, missing O'Rand in this game, or in this third quarter. And right now, I don't know if O'Rand will actually see the floor at all in this second half.
No, and we've seen coaches do this before, just trying not to cause any issues, keep the peace in this game. Just after you get a technical, things can get a little bit more chirpy than they already were.
Yeah, and especially in a game like this, as Mooneyham gets another tray to go. This one tipped into the hands of Keller, out of bounds, will stay with Girard. But like you were saying, in a game where you don't necessarily need O'Rand to step in and do anything spectacular, might as well play it safe. Brooks, her shot won't go, tipped out of bounds by Osawatomie.
And at this point in the game, the Lady Trojans, like you're saying, a lot of the starters are already sitting on that bench, and so no need to cause any unneeded injuries or further any issues.
Hampson works it over to Shipley. Now the pass down the floor as Keller will collide.
I mean, for the amount of times that you see Kennedy falling on the floor, you would expect somebody to yell timber from the stands, just falling like a tree almost every single game.
Third foul going against Lexi Palmer. So they get it out, Mooneyham for three again. Can't get it this time. Trojans with the putback, no dice, as this one's rebounded by Hampson. The back and forth between her and Cook as they go down the floor. Hampson will walk.
And Drake, with that three from Mooneyham, is that her first miss from range, or at least maybe her second?
Yeah, I think that's her second.
So 4 for 6 is not a bad stat line from the arc.
Not at all. She's been great with the shot selection. We know that she has that lethality as Brooks tries to match it. Can't get that one to go. Handed back out. Brooks puts up a mid-range two, which won't go either. Now down the floor to Palmer. Guarded closely by Mooneyham. Picked up by Trojans. And I believe the block from Mooneyham, as Brooks now looking to drive. puts up a 2, can't go. Brooks works it over to Mooneyham. Her shot blocked, tipped around and into the hands of Shipley. Now across, Palmer for the 2, swirls out, rebound Trojans. As that will bring the third quarter to a close. Blotnick will head to the scores table as 8 minutes remaining here in Girard for the first round of the sub-state bracket. We'll be right back after this.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
Back on Girard Sports Live. As 2 ball goes up, can't go for Palmer. Working it around. O'Brien to Lawless. This one worked inside, tipped away into the hands of Menden, and now a foul called. As it is a running clock, so this will be a lot fewer stoppages. First one goes in for Hampson. Makes it 18. And now 19. So out of the 19 points, 8 of those coming from the floor for Osawatomie and 11 from the stripe.
So not a lot of luck for this Trojan team in red from anywhere other than the stripe. And I mean, you can say that, but I believe, I haven't really been keeping track of how many misses they've had, but I don't think that percentage is great either.
Well, and in all actuality, this Girard Trojan team has been the deal breaker for Osawatomie. A ton of blocks. The paint game just is invisible. It's non-existent for this Osawatomie Trojan team. They have not been able to get anything going from the paint. As they finally get another point on the board, that's Avea O'Brien. But like I was saying, the paint not working for them. The perimeter shots, they don't have a single 3 on the contest. It's been a very brutal game. And right now averaging 1 bucket from the floor per quarter.
And that's just not a winning recipe. I mean, if you can't get down low and if you're not getting anything from 3, there's not much to say on the offensive side of things for this Osawatomie team.
Good bucket there as Trojans collects another 2. Keeps it at a 40-point gap. Hampson kicks it across, 3 ball goes up and falls. The first one of the day for Osawatomie. That's Avea O'Brien.
Sometimes, Drake, it feels like we jinx a lot of things that happen in this game.
I 100% agree. And Monken gets the and one. Takes to the glass.
Fouls on number 23, McKenna Minden.
And gets a couple of cheers. A standing ovation from the bench. And what a good feeling that must be for these players on the floor. When you think about, you know, these younger ladies that are getting to play these varsity minutes, and what a supportive team that they have behind them, as now Munkin will foul O'Brien on the three.
Fouls on number 5, Macy Munkin. Her fourth.
Like I was saying, Caleb, the relationship between all these players just seems to be so upbeat and happy. You saw Munkin talking to the girls over here on the bench after the ball to the face. Do you have any more insight into that? As I know I'm not as familiar with some of these ladies.
I mean, like you're saying, a lot of the girls on this team are definitely friends and close with each other, and I think that's one of the best things that sports in general will do, is that you'll make friends that you wouldn't even expect to, just from spending a lot of time with each other, whether that be in games, bus rides, or practice. And that's where a lot of your friends that you'll have for life come from, just playing with each other on the court and on the field.
Trojans hands off Brooks, gets the two, which leaves a Plotnik as the lone wolf right now. The only one without a bucket so far in this contest for the Girard Trojans. Miss on the three-pull from O'Brien, but the putback for two is good from Palmer. Plotnik looking to get it, and she does. Once again, Caleb.
The jinxing.
The jinx. It's so real.
Number 2, Macy Barnett. Number 3, Angel Brown. And number 10, Heidi Grother. And for Girard, number 5, Macy Munkin.
Substitutions here. As Munkin comes back onto the floor. Some new faces as well, as Macy Barnett, joined by Lexi Palmer, Maddie Hampson, Heidi Grother, and Angel Brown take the floor for Osawatomie. Munkin with the pick. Takes it all the way down and in for two. Macy Munkin kind of creeping up on that leading scorer position a little bit.
And that's something that she's not one of the usuals that we see coming off the bench, and not one of the starters. So just a big night from her once again to help this Trojan team get the win.
Right now, sitting at 11 points on the game. That's right behind Mooneyham's 12. Orand left the game with, I believe, 10. So right in front of Orand, and then you've got Keller. Keller with 15 on the contest. So she'll need just a couple more buckets to surpass Kennedy Keller, but right now doing a great job. And Avery Brooks gets another two to her resume. And with under a minute to go, this one coming down the close. Munkin gets the transition off the glass and in for two.
And Drake, I was just looking at it. This is the most points this Lady Trojan team has scored in any game this season by far.
This one taken away. Munkin gets the break. And now will get fouled and shooting free throws. If she makes both, if she has time and makes both, she will tie Kennedy Keller for the leading scorer on the game.
And I
with
think
the
a substitution.
I don't even think she's going to get the chance to.
That'll be it.
Well, the spirit was there. She was creeping up on it. But regardless, what a performance out of the young Trojans tonight for Girard. Osawatomie signs off for the season with a 29-point performance against 74 from Girard. That will take us into the post-game show, which is brought to you by Eastside Cafe. Experience the best breakfast in town 6 days a week at 120 South Ozark Street in Girard. Eastside Cafe, a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. And Caleb, I'm going to give it to you tonight, as it's a tough one. Who is your player of the game?
I think, there's been an incredible game throughout the entire team, but for me, the player of the game has to go to Kennedy Keller 100%. With just her defensive play. She was the leading scorer for another night tonight, and 15 points in that third quarter. I just kept hearing her name called over and over the loudspeaker, and so I think just throughout defense, offense, pretty much this entire game, for me, it's pretty clear tonight, Kennedy Keller is the player of the game.
I was trying to add up these points here. I said that Kennedy Keller was the leading scorer on the game. That was just for Girard. Avea O'Brien actually ended up with 18 on the contest. So kudos to her for Osawatomie, and the only player with more than one bucket from the floor as well. So that's just kind of goes to show what this Girard Trojan team was able to do defensively. So many blocks from Kennedy Keller, as well as takeaways, deflections, whatever you want. It seemed like at one point this Girard team was kind of beating themselves there in the second quarter, had the technical, a surplus of fouls, and then it just didn't matter. They put up a great fight from the floor. As I look at how many buckets, it was only six buckets from the floor out of Osawatomie, which is such a huge, I don't know what the word here is, but just such a huge accolade for this Girard Trojan team.
And like you're saying, might have been, if not but one of the most just impressive defensive games and offensive games also from this Trojan team, and that's something that you like to see your first round of this postseason. And I think with that loss, you and me had talked about how sometimes teams need a loss, and with that loss on Tuesday, I think it's what really gave this team almost a little bit more motivation just to get this win and get this win in such a dominant fashion.
Well, we've got Coach Urlacher here with us, so we will transition to the post-game coaches interview brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust. Coach, want to congratulate you on the win first off, and thank you for joining us here on the post-game show. A phenomenal performance from the Lady Trojans tonight, as you had 4 players with over double-digit points, 2 in that starting lineup and then 2 coming off the bench. What were your thoughts on the game tonight?
A lot of defense, and this group of girls have brought that all year long. Sometimes the offense has been there, sometimes the offense hasn't been there, and the defense always has been. They started out with a little junk defense, and I thought our girls did well against it. That stuff generally doesn't work against us. That's why we have, probably the biggest complaint about me is long practices, but we do those long practices because we never skimp on fundamentals. And so my kids can dribble, pass, and shoot, and if you want to do something to where you leave a couple of them wide open, they all can score, as you can see tonight. So I'm very, very proud of them. I thought they handled it well, took the easy shots that were given of them. Again, I thought our defense was right there, right on, and just can't say enough about the defensive effort from everybody.
Yeah, and just looking at the comparison or just the difference between the first quarter to the other three, is there something that happened in between that transition from the first to the second that you changed offensively to really kickstart the offense, or was it just kind of naturally?
Well, we went to our most aggressive press, which is a full court, full deny, and I think that got them completely out of sorts. And if you notice carefully, a lot of our offense came from our defense, and so I think it was just creating a very frenetic pace. And I've got those seniors score so well, but I got some young kids that are pretty dang fast, and I know they're faster. I don't know that I want to foot race any of them. So, and so they show that off, and a year from now, a bright future for a lot of these kids, and because of our injuries, they've had an opportunity to be in meaningful games at meaningful times and play, and you just can't say enough about that, and you can't say enough about getting that experience at a young age. So, what a great night! Able to get. Our starters took care of business, I thought, and then our subs came in, and they played very, very well too. So about as good as you could do for a first night out of sub-state.
Yeah, and going forward into this postseason, is there something that you're really trying to hammer down or preach in the locker room to really keep this mojo rolling? Our defense carries us, and we rise and fall with our defense, and so – we just got to continue to do that. We got to continue to be the aggressor. I felt like, especially here down the stretch, we've been the aggressor. Starting the last, I think we've won 9 out of the last 10 games, and I feel like in those games overall, even against Colgan, we came out firing, we came out guns blazing, we came out in the full court press, and I feel like the kids really responded well with that. Well, Coach, as we wrap up here on Girard Sports Live, is there anything else you'd like to say about tonight's game going forward into this postseason?
Oh, just, we'll accept all prayers for our seniors. I don't want them to go out with injury. I want them to go out with the opportunity to play in their last high school basketball game, and all the glory to God for what He does for us, and what I know He's looking down and just so proud of my overall team. We've had about half of our games, we've had a starter out, and it's just always been next person up, and just so proud of resilience. Resilience is the word that just keeps coming up. I talked to them about they need to have it, and I feel like with the way we've played, they've had it. So just proud of them, and excited for the future, but excited for right now, and hope we can just pull off a victory. It's going to be a tough one probably against Riverton on Wednesday, but they do have to come here.
Well, Coach, once again, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Congratulations. Go celebrate that victory, and we look forward to next week.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you. That was Coach Urlacher on the post-game coaches interview, brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Caleb, any final comments as we wrap up here?
Just like to say that is one of the most important and impressive wins that I've seen from this Girard team, and let's keep it rolling, keep winning these games, and let's make it to state once again.
We're looking to keep it rolling here as we wrap up. From myself, Caleb, Sarah, and the rest of the Varsity Sports Live production crew, we say thank you for watching, have a great night, and we hope to see you all next time.